Welcome to our kitchen. Today we prepare an ancient Roman recipe. A simple yet very aromatic bread prepared by farmers. Leavened with an ancient dry yeast that we will show you how to make from scratch. We start with the ingredients for the bread. We need white wheat flour, eggs, dry yeast and the spices. Nigella, celery seeds and white poppy seeds. Before preparing the bread, we make the yeast. We need millet and grapes. We start the stemming and crushing the grapes. We are using wine grapes, but this method works also with table grapes. It's important not to wash the grapes, because we need the wild yeasts present on the grapes' skins. When we crush the grapes, we must pay attention not to break too many seeds, to prevent them from giving an unpleasant, bitter taste to the yeast. We remove the grape's skin and let the must rest for 2 days. The yeasts will multiply, feeding on the grape's sugars. After a couple of days, we can prepare the dry yeast. We grind in the mortar the millet. We are aiming at a coarse flour. We find this recipe in the Naturalis Historia, the encyclopedic work written by Pliny the Elder in the 1st century. This book is particularly important for the study of ancient cuisine, most of all because we can find there information about plants, animals, spices, ingredients, as well as recipes. There are a few bread recipes, like the one we are preparing today, as well as information about how to prepare and preserve yeast. The dry yeast we are making now is meant to be kept for a year. According to Pliny, it is possible to prepare it using also fine wheat bran. We need the millet flour with the must, remembering that the more must we add, the more the dry yeast will be effective. You can also use just a grape must if you need the yeast immediately. We used this technique to make the ancient Roman bite-sized bread rolls called mustacei, from the Agricultura by Cato. You find the link to the recipe at the end of this video. As mentioned before, we aim at preserving the yeast throughout the year. Therefore, we divided the millet dough into pieces not too thick and let them dry. Now we prepare the bread. We add salt to the white wheat flour, crumble the dry yeast, and knead with warm water. There are other kinds of bread in Pliny's book, prepared with different cereals, for example spelt, millet or barley, and seasoned in many ways. Among the others, the author mentions a bread kneaded with eggs and milk, and one prepared with butter. Usually ancient bread was leavened, but there were also some unleavened types. For example, the flatbread we prepared with the moretum from the Appendix Virgiliana. We let the dough rest overnight. The leavening time changes depending on how much yeast you used, how active was the mass in the first place, and the temperature of the room. Now we knead again the dough for a few minutes. We sprinkle the nigella and the celery seeds on the surface we use to cook the bread. Then we place the bread and brush it with a beaten egg. Then we sprinkle the poppy seeds. Ancient Romans, Pliny writes, used white poppy seeds, sometimes prepared with honey and served during the secunde mense, as a dessert. but we find them in other sources, used as ingredients to prepare other sweets or to season meat. Nigella was used just by bakers, the author continues. We let the bread rest for half an hour, then place it in the oven. We cooked the bread for about half an hour, but the cooking time can change considerably depending on the size and shape of the bread and on the oven temperature. This bread is perfect paired with a meat dish, for example pork stew or lucanica, an ancient Roman sausage. You find the link at the end of this video. We remove the bread from the oven and let it rest for a few minutes. This fragrant bread is a delicious example of an ancient plebeian food, simple but loaded with flavor. If you're interested in ancient foods and flavors, or you're just looking for unusual and delicious recipes, please subscribe our channel.